Good morning. This month will mark 2 years since COVID-19 made itself apparent in communities worldwide. Our minority entrepreneurs have shown such resiliency during this difficult time. Also, many of our corporate members have increased their efforts to do more business with minority companies. All of us have had to pivot, learn new ways to grow, work, connect, and support our families and friends. I'm optimistic about the future, and I hope you are as well. I'm optimistic about economic diversity, equity, and inclusion. Remember, we're all in this together. Thank you for joining us today to learn more about the Florida State Minority Supplier Development Council's accomplishments in 2021, our goals for 2022, as well as receiving some updates about some new things that we have in store as we continue to meet our mission of helping minority businesses to grow. We're also going to be introducing a segment, People You Should Know, industry leaders, experts that are going to be sharing ideas, opportunities, and we're very excited. And throughout the year, you'll be hearing more from people you should know. Additionally, we'll have an opportunity to share our theme for the year, as well as our book of the year. So we're so glad that you joined us. To get us started, I'd like to introduce Desiree Hanson, who is the Vice Chair of the Board and Manager for Supply Diversity with Moffitt Cancer Center. Desiree? While we're waiting for Desiree, why don't we introduce Abel Herrera, who is the chair of the Mbe Input Committee, who is with IT Data Solutions. He's going to provide an update on the activities of the Mbe Input Committee. Abel is an incredible champion for minority businesses, and he's incredibly enthusiastic about his role at serving as the Mbe Input Committee chair, the voice of the MBEs to the work the council does.
Thank you very much. I'm sorry. So thank you for unmuting my mic. I appreciate it. Good morning, everyone. My name again, as Beatrice mentioned, is Desiree Hanson, and I am the Vice Chair for the Florida State Minority Supply Development Council. On behalf of our chair, Dana Hill, I'd like to welcome everyone and also our board of directors. I'd like to welcome each and every one of you to this wonderful 2022 kickoff meeting. Thank you. And have a great session.
Thank you so much, Desiree. We appreciate your commitment and support of minority businesses. Now let's hear from Abel.
Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Abel Herrera, President and CEO of IT Data Solutions. And on behalf of the Mbe Input Committee, I'd like to welcome each and every one of you. One of the goals that we have this year, and our goals every year, is to increase MBE opportunities. And so the purpose of the Mbe Input Committee is to provide input and guidance for the programs that both the council and the board of directors put together for all our MBEs. So it's very important to get involved and participate. And if you have some suggestions, go ahead and reach out to myself, the other Mbe Input Committee members, and or the council directly. And then the other goal that we want to make sure that you guys are aware of is the encouragement and to do business with other MBEs. Last year was the first year we had an award for the MBE to MBE spend, and where it encourages minority businesses to do business together. So there'll be more information coming out about that. But like I said, on behalf of the Input Committee, welcome, have a great session, and I wish each and every one of you continued health and success in 2022. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Abel. We appreciate your commitment to our minority businesses. I want to share that this year is going to be a momentous year for us. The National Minority Supplier Development Council is celebrating its 50th anniversary, and you'll be hearing a lot more about the activities that will be hosted as we celebrate this milestone year for the NMSCC. We do have a new president, Ying McGuire. If you've not had an opportunity to hear her, she spoke for us during our awards event, She has joined the national organization and she's on fire. She worked with Dell as well as worked with a minority business that she took global. And she's making some incredible changes, particularly on how we interact with our MBEs and technology, because she came from a great company, Dell, where she reported directly to Michael Dell. So we're excited about her leadership and all the new things that she's doing. I encourage you to visit the NMSCC website to stay abreast of all of the activities and events during the NMSCC's 50th anniversary. To get us started and to share more about what's happened last year and how we've impacted the growth of our minority businesses, as well as how we've helped our corporate members to meet their needs, you're going to be hearing from, one last thing. I did want to thank our other board members. Dana Hill could not be here with us today. The newest member of our board is Quibilla Graham with Orlando Health, as well as Brian Butler, who is with who is our newest member of our board, who is with I just drew a blank, which is not good. Hold on a second. With Vista Communications, an award-winning company. So I want to welcome them to the board of directors and thank them for their leadership as well as their commitment and continued support. Next, you're going to hear from Monica Cupid, our VP of Operations. She's going to be sharing what we accomplished in 2021. Let's hear from Monica.
So good morning. Thank you, Beatrice, for that brief introduction. I always say that I have the fun part to do because talking about accomplishments, who wouldn't want to do that? And I think most of us on here, when we think about what 2021 has been like, and even going back to 2020, you know, if you really put it in perspective, you should be proud of the work that you are doing. Here at the council, we have the support of the board of directors. We have such a dedicated staff. And if we were all here in person, I would just want to give each of you a round of applause and just see the excitement on your faces when you hear what we've been able to accomplish in 2021. So, you know, I'll be biased in saying that we just can't be stopped, you know, pandemic or not. The council is going to push forth and do what we have to do to ensure that all of our MBEs, to ensure that our corporate members, you know, that we're meeting your needs. So most of what I will be talking about today with the accomplishments is not all what we've done. We just want to be able to spotlight and just give you some of those highlights so you can hear some of the main things. If I had to talk about everything we would be doing, we'd be here all day. So again, as we roll out the accomplishments for 2021, I hope that you're going to be along with us for 2022, so you can do just as, you know, much, even maybe even more. We want to be able to do even more in 2022. So I'm going to go ahead and again spotlight those accomplishments, and hopefully you'll be in the background giving a round of applause. All right, so first I'm going to go over the programs and services just to kind of give you an idea of what those were and what the accomplishments were. So the MBDA Business Center, and again, that was the Minority Business Development Agency, the business centers, both Miami and Orlando, had more than 270 million in transactions. That's a lot. They created 300 jobs. When we think again of what the unemployment looks like, creating 300 jobs, I think, you know, the centers have to be proud of that accomplishment. Moving on to what's like a new program for us. After we ended the MBDA program, we started a new program called the Miami and Orlando COVID Response and Relief. And in that short space of time that program launched, they were able to serve more than 300 companies. They were able to assist clients with more than 28 million in procurement contracts. And even when you think of loans, over 6 million in loans. So again, for such a new program, great accomplishments for 2021. When we look at the Florida Department of Transportation, the DBE and SDP, That program was able to increase participation among the DBEs, assisting over 310 DBEs and over 50 non-DBEs. We're able to provide assistance to 32 prime contractors. Still talking about our programs and services, over 1,000 bid opportunities sent to MBEs. We're able to present the Logitech Diverse Supplier Development Program and even held the Women's Capacity Building Bootcamp. Hopefully there are some of you on here that attended either the Logitech program or you're able to attend the Women's Capacity Building Bootcamp. Now, when we look at our outreach and our events, we've done also a lot. 5,000 of you attended the council events. And if you haven't attended, one of our major events or even some of the minor ones that we do in between, you're missing out. I know a lot of times, those of us that know our, Beatrice, we know that she loves to have these in-person events. But, when you think of, again, a pandemic and being able to have 5,000 people in attendance, I think that's something we ought to be proud of. We hosted over 40 events and staff attended over 200. Again, majority of those were virtual events. We recruited 168 new MBEs. We had 5 new corporate members join the council, 2 regional Supplier of the Year winners. Now that was exciting for us. And if you're on here and listening, again, congratulations, Coke, Florida and Triorg. And then we also launched the new program, the Mbe Classifications Program, which is a pathway to certification. So that program was launched in November, and we're excited to see what the results are going to be for 2022. Still discussing outreach and events, we hosted a successful virtual business expo. Again, we did it virtually, and we were proud to say that it was successful. Also, the Business Impact Awards. Those of you that know, it was formerly called the Gala. So for years, we've called it the Gala, but now it's the Virtual Business Impact Awards. And if you have not had an opportunity to attend, hopefully you're looking forward to it in September of this year. We also hosted successful Meet the New Corporate Member sessions, hosted 4 successful supplier diversity roundtable meetings with the Mbe Input Committee and 3 other councils. So, again, looking at those accomplishments during a pandemic, I want to say a round of applause to the staff for your dedication. And we really also want to say thank you to the board of directors because you tirelessly support us. And also to those of you that are our MBEs and our corporate members that are listening, we appreciate you always attending, either supporting. Some of you share what we're doing. So you always just find a way to assist us and to ensure that we're doing the work that we're supposed to be doing to meet the needs of our constituents. So again, on behalf of FSMSCC, or like we call ourselves, the council, I really would like to thank you again for your support and just being able to accomplish that in 2021. So thank you. I will now turn it back over to Beatrice, who will introduce the next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Monica. So do appreciate your efforts as well. We could not have accomplished our goals in 2021 without the support of our sponsors. Sponsors have choices who they support. For them to write a check and support our mission of helping minority businesses to grow and helping corporations identify minority businesses with capacity and helping them grow, we thank you. We've had some sponsors every single year, they've joined to support our efforts, and minority businesses as well, who continue to support us by being premier sponsors each year. And so we do thank you for your support. You honor us by giving and contributing to our success. And I also want to echo what Monica has shared about the staff and the committees, the Mbe Input Committee, as well as all of the other volunteers that help us do what we do. We could not have accomplished our goals without you. Next, you're going to hear from the newest member of our team, Dr. Sandra Palmer. She's going to be sharing more about our programs and services. I can't encourage you enough to utilize our programs and services. We're really excited about Dr. Sandra's role. She is responsible for programs and compliance. And as you know, We're only as good as the people that are delivering the services, our staff. But although we have all of these programs, it's really important you as our constituents, some of them are specifically for certified MBEs, but many of our programs are open to you whether you're certified or not. Please take advantage of our programs and services. Dr. Sandra?
Okay, thank you for unmuting my mic. Good morning, everyone, and welcome. It is such a pleasure to be here with you today at my first kickoff, and I am excited about 2022. I want to share with you the programs and services that we will be offering for 2022. I want to consider programs and compliance to be the heartbeat of the council. And I know I'm being biased there because I lead that area, but I consider it the heartbeat of the council. I'll just spotlight a few. And the first one I want to talk about is training for corporate members. And at the regional and at the local level, the national council and the local council, we host regular training programs for our local and national corporate members. And we can assist you to meet your diversity supplier objectives. Please reach out to us so that we can help in that regard. Regarding matchmaking, PowerNet events, if your organization is interested in hosting a matchmaker, please contact our team. We are waiting on your call. It's an opportunity for you as suppliers, for you to learn about what your organization is buying and to meet our MBEs, so that those matches can be made so you can meet your goals. Now, if you are new to supplier diversity, we can help you identify more experienced mentors and professionals in the field, and we can make those matches for you. Now, every day we are helping our corporate members to identify MBAs for procurement opportunities, and we ask you to contact our Mara Hernandez, and she will share her information in the chat, and she will assist you in identifying MBAs with capacity. We have a rapid response service, and the more information is on our website. And if you have a RFI, RFP, or RFQ, and you need a rapid response, you can use that service to reach out to us so we can put you in touch with suppliers who have capacity. Now let's talk about the programs and services for minority business enterprises. Now, I won't go through all of them, but I want to touch on the F.DBE program. That's the Florida Department of Transportation DB Specialized Program. And this program helps businesses with FDLT. Now, recently, as you may know, Congress passed the infrastructure bill, and there is going to be billions of dollars available in Florida through the Department of Transportation. And we ask that you schedule an appointment to see if you are a match for our DOT program. Now, if you do work with highway construction, resurfacing, aviation, repairs or replacement of bridges, rail or transit, or anything to do with safety initiatives, we want you to consider the F.DBE program. Now, the council also has a loan fund that you may or may not be aware of, with terms of up to 5 years with renewal considerations. As you think about your financing options, we ask that you consider our loan fund. Now, the council has a new relationship with CareerSource. And with all that's going on in the labor market, I think this is interesting news for you. The workforce board for the region, that is the CareerSource. Now, many companies are having challenges recruiting and retaining employees. And CareerSource helps companies to find qualified employees for open positions. Also, the agency offers training grants to employees to train prospective and existing employees. Now, let's talk a little bit about some other programs that we have that you can take advantage of. And I want to spotlight the Advanced Management Training Program. Now, you can take advantage of advanced management training programs at Kellogg, Dartmouth, and Washington State University that help MBEs to go to the next level. You know, the council provides scholarships, and you know, these programs are normally held in the summer at some of the best colleges and universities in the US, and they are one-week programs. And we ask that you follow up with us afterwards and have conversations if you're interested in this. Now, make sure that you're receiving our newsletters weekly. Every Tuesday it goes out with lots of information, the latest that's happening, the things that you can benefit from, grants and bids, you know, articles, updates, events. You can't afford to miss that. So please make sure you whitelist our and things you should know weekly so that it comes in your inbox. Now, if you're interested in learning about doing business with the government, we suggest that you attend our SBA 7J and Technical Assistance Program workshops. Now, these workshops help companies to learn about doing business with the government, and the US government is the biggest buyer in the world. Great opportunity. Now, I want to speak about the COVID response and relief program. This is the last one I'm going to speak about, and I'm really proud of the work that we're doing, but you know, we ask you to take advantage of it if you are not. So what is this program about? The COVID response and relief program, it provides consulting and technical assistance to companies that have been impacted by the pandemic. Now, what types of assistance do we provide? We provide general business consulting, and we provide specialty business consultation as well. Now, what are some of these areas? We can assist you with loan packaging, marketing, website development, legal advice. We can assist you with your accounting and bookkeeping, you know, creating estimates, writing proposals, responding to bids, and so much more. You can't afford to miss out on this opportunity. Now, to share some success stories and, you know, so you have a good feel of how the program is doing and the benefits that it's accruing to some participants, I want to introduce you now to our director over in Orlando, that's Ritu Jalhan, and our senior business consultant in the Miami office, Jorge Iglesias. And they are going to introduce you to some of our clients who will share their success stories with us. Thank you.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Can you hear me? Can you see me? Well, I hope everyone's staying warm. I know it's been a cold couple of days in Central Florida and South Florida, so hope everyone's doing all right. We're going to take the next couple of minutes and just introduce you to some of our star clients and success stories that have taken place in Central Florida and South Florida. So with myself and Jorge, we're going to be introducing you to Rhoda Carter of Carter Health Disposables, Virginia Pena of APD Construction, and Dawn Wiggins, the president of the Wiggins Agency. So whoever's in charge of cameras and mics, if we can get those three individuals unmuted and spotlighted, that'd be great. So I'm going to start with Rhoda Carter. Rhoda Carter started her business about 10 years ago, and she's based here in Central Florida. She is one of our star clients, and she actually was the winner and recipient of MBE of the Year for the MBDA Med Week back in 2020. So we're excited to have her here. And Rhoda, are you there? Are you able to speak?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. I can't see you, but if someone can put Rhoda, there she is. Okay, great. So Rhoda, tell us a little bit about Carter Health Disposables, how you started your business and where it is now.
Okay, well, Carter Health is a medical device company. We are a company that focuses on disposable medical apparel for sterile compounding pharmacy environment. And that includes acute care hospital pharmacies, as well as labs and oncology. And but our primary customer, our target customer, is the acute care hospital, specifically the inpatient pharmacy, but also materials management, because some of our products parlay into other areas of the hospital. We started in 2009 as a sister company to Carter Health, which is a clean room design engineer build company. And so they build compounding clean rooms. So back then I wrote a business plan to target that same customer. So the classic, same market and new product. So wrote that plan, and then 4 years later, we broke our first million and, became a viable force in this particular niche market. And then we gained traction by acquiring large contracts. One of the biggest ones we ever landed in the beginning was with Orlando Health, and that kind of took us to the next level because it's a very large competitive contract. And then we went on to Tampa General to have another contract where we beat out a big major national player. And so after that, we've just been in this market in the healthcare supply chain with the major GPOs and wholesalers such as McKesson, Medline, and Cardinal Health. And then, you've got your GPOs like Vizient. So we are embedded in the supply chain and able to reach the healthcare buyers through their traditional methods of procurement.
That's great. That's great. So how was 2020, 2021 for your company? How have you been, riding the tide of change during the COVID pandemic, given that you're in the PPE space?
Yeah, it's been a roller coaster because, like I said, we do parlay into the PPE business. So we had to pivot to be able to jump on that bandwagon where everyone was in dire need of PPE in 2020. So we were doing 80-hour weeks all year long. It was just very difficult, but we had a good year, and then the market got saturated with bad product and really made there's a lot of market disruption that got in the way of our success going on. When I say success, I mean, it's just been up and down. It's been a roller coaster because there's just been so many obstacles that have gotten in the way. And one being with the free product that the government has been giving out to some of our clients. So we have lost a lot of business because a client was already on contract, but then they got a load of free product. And so this is ongoing. So there's just a lot of challenges. We just have to stick to our niche and stick to our, focus on what we do. And that has been the way we've been able to continue and maintain success is just knowing who you are and sticking to that. And, everything else looks exciting and you want to be able to help other, take advantage of other opportunities. But sometimes those opportunities can be very detrimental to your business or at least harmful and disruptive. But
Right.
So we've been able to maintain and go up and down and just survive and hope that we see some normalcy in the next couple of years.
Yeah, it's been challenging. So how do you feel the council has assisted you in the growth over these last 2 years? How has the COVID program, as well as the council, provided you with the assistance over the past?
Well, it's really the relationships that the FSMSCC has with other entities that, believe it or not, sometimes they come full circle. For instance, Beatrice has a relationship with someone who is at Merck. That person was with CVS when I was in CVS during their supplier diversity certification program, and I have a contract with CVS. So yeah, it was great because they made a good impression on him then. But then, you know, you can't keep a track of all of your relationships, right? So here we come 2021, and Beatrice reunited us. And now he's in a power position at Merck where that could really impact us with the ability to get a tier 2 diversity contract and, you know, and more. And so that you can't put a dollar value on the relationships that the FSMSDC has and that Beatrice has and that you have, because those relationships, sometimes it's who you know. You have to be prepared and able to deliver. But if you don't have that relationship with someone who has that dedication to supplier diversity, you don't connect all of those dots, then it can be quite challenging, and it can take you longer to achieve something that you could have achieved just by being involved with this organization.
Yeah, that's the power of the network. So thank you so much, Rhoda, for your insights, and congratulations on, you know, I guess getting through this challenging time of COVID, and to you and your team for making the 10-year mark. Congrats on your success as a business. I'm going to turn it over to Virginia Pena, the Director of Operations for APD Construction, and we're going to have a little chat similar. So thank you so much, Rhoda, and whoever's in charge of the mics and camera, if we can get Virginia there. Virginia, are you available?
Yes, do you hear me, Rito?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you.
So good to have you. So Virginia, I understand that you've been working in the Central Florida supplier diversity space. You've been with the Hispanic Chamber, and now you're with APD Construction. Can you share a little bit about the firm, about your role, and how you've seen this company grow since 2020, and the growth that's happened in Orlando from a construction standpoint?
Thank you, Rito. Thank you for the invitation. It's an honor and a pleasure to share this time with you guys and to share the kickoff for the 2022, another complicated year. Hope we can land at the end of the 2022 a great year. APD Construction has been, for the last 10 years, in a growth stage, starting from the humble roof of an MBE, the president, Ariel Padilla, doing a small renovation projects in the residential area, to develop a large organization. I would say that a small organization developing large projects for government, commercial, private clients. And last year in 2021, we accomplished a great milestone. For every small business, reaching out the 10-year anniversary is a point of validation of the whole hard work that has been developing through the previous years, and also on preparation to reach out larger goals, larger milestones. We started, like I said, working for residential clients, but last year, especially with the support of the council, we were able to be the MBE with the largest participation in bids with as a prime contractor with Orange County, with Osceola District School County. Also, we were able to participate as a prime contractor with City of Orlando. Most of our projects right now are coming from government. And for that, we were able to transition on being a simple operation in developing all these strategies that we were able to apply and continue growing, like developing more staff, bidding process, getting increase on bonding capacities, being able to be ready for this transformational year, the 2021.
Great. So how do you feel the council has assisted you with your growth? I know that you've been, challenged with bonding capacity, and we want to hear a little bit about how we've been able to work together to benefit your organization.
Yeah, Ritu, I am beyond grateful, and I can speak from the president of APD and our team, because last 2 years has been the amazing transformation for the company. And like I said, entering in the market with working with the government require to be able to get access to higher bond capacity, and we receive financial assistance from the council. Another great service that we receive from the council is the high quality consulting. Through Ravel here in Orlando and through you, we were able to meet weekly last year for several months, and visiting and revisiting the goals and analyzing how we want to be able to accomplish them, developing those strategies, being able to connect with resources, especially through the Covet program. We were able to accomplish very meaningful connections through the matchmakings. All these events have been able to connect with other fellow MBE, and currently we are doing business within MBE. For us has been transformational in the sense that this certification, along with all the minority certification we have, working as a subcontractor, now as a prime contractor, being able to offer a hand to other small MBEs and working together has been a way to contribute to the community, grow, and being able to participate in all these programs. And thank you so much, and to Beatrice and the whole board, because for 2022, we have great goals, great dreams, and we count with you guys.
That's great. So there you heard it. You know, we've been very instrumental in helping people of the businesses, especially in the construction space, grow here in Central Florida. And later today, or later in this kickoff, we have actually a big project that's going to be announced. So we're excited to be, you know, there to help you with those matchmakers, Virginia, and to the rest of the people who are in the MEP construction space that are out there. So thank you so much, Virginia. I'm going to pass the baton over to Jorge, who's going to introduce Dawn Wiggins. And, you know, we encourage all those that are listening to get certified with the FSMSDC and to make it out to our matchmakers and expos so they can benefit just the way Rhoda and Virginia have. So Jorge, off to you.
Good morning to everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce Dawn Wiggins from the Wiggins Agency, a local company based in Fort Lauderdale. Please, Dawn, tell us about your company briefly.
Thank you, Jorge. Thank you very much. And I am so excited to be a part of this wonderful meeting with the council. This is a very exciting time. We've gone through some difficult times at the Wiggins Agency and also across the country and the world with this pandemic. We're a full service marketing and advertising firm, Jorge. We've been in business for over 50 years, specializing in marketing, full service marketing, advertising, public relation, radio, television. We've had the opportunity to own radio stations and interact with major broadcast companies like NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox, and the new CW network. We build websites, social media content. We help businesses position themselves behind this pandemic. A lot of businesses have had to pivot. Business is not usual. The things that we as CEOs and owners of businesses, we can't continue to do the same things that we've done in the past. We've got to have creative employees that know how to do creative things and delegate responsibilities to them, Jorge.
Interesting. That's very interesting. Tell me, Don, how was the year 2021 for your company?
2021 was a year very similar to 19, 20, and 21, with COVID being such a major factor. A lot of retail business had to shut down. the major advertisers, we had to pivot. The automotive industry was a major leader in advertising. No more. Healthcare became a major entity. So businesses had to pivot and adjust to working under this pandemic situation. And we were fortunate enough to be able to handle companies like World Save First, where we were able to do covert testing and advertise and market locations where people could get tested and also receive the vaccines. And we were so excited because we got some creative people on our staff, and they're people that know how to think out of the box and not just punch a clock. So we're an agency that makes things happen. We come up with unique ideas for businesses, great consultation. We know how to master the media.
Glad to hear that, Don. Don, how has the council helped you during these hard times?
The council has helped me tremendously, man. I tell you, with Beatrice being such a wonderful leader. I know when I came here to manage iHeartMedia, I had the opportunity to meet Beatrice, and we connected her with iHeart and presented a major marketing campaign with the broadcast company. And it continued with Marie because we were able to get access to financial capital. One of the things that minorities suffer from is access to capital. We just don't have access to capital like a lot of major firms do. And that was a great help because it gave us an opportunity to be creative and expand. 21 was a challenging year, but we made it through by being creative, thinking out of the box and being different.
Don, which of the services from the council have been beneficial to you?
The the connection with major corporations is a must. A lot of these major corporations, Jorge, are talking about inclusion and diversity. Well, those are nothing but buzzwords. We need to see some action. Include me. Diversity. If you're in a corporation where everybody looks like you, then you're in the wrong room. We need to have some diversity. Our agency would like to have the opportunity to work with these major corporations and show them how to reach the minority minority market, the women, the minorities. These are great consumers and they need to be reached. And these major corporations need to hire the Wiggins agency to reach them.
Yeah, very true, Don. Thank you so much for your information. It's really great to hear all these things. I'm sorry, but we have run out of time and some other speakers are. Thank you so much for your great information.
Thank you.
Thank you, Don, George. Appreciate you all, and we too. Thank you for sharing your success stories. We're going to move on to our next segment. The council is introducing people you should know. It's a playoff of Things You Should Know, our weekly e-newsletter. And we're so proud to have as one of our first speakers, Melissa Medina Jimenez, who is a founding executive team member and president of Emerge Americas, a venture-backed platform focused on transforming Miami into a tech hub for the Americas. Melissa has been at the forefront of helping a thriving entrepreneurial ecosystem in Florida. And she's very focused also on helping particularly women be engaged in innovation and technology. She's the president of the Medina Family Foundation, who works on funding programs that transform communities and an active role in mentoring children and empowering families to enhance quality of life and education. Melissa, welcome to People You Should Know. Thank you for being our first guest.
Thank you, Beatrice, and thank you to the council for this opportunity. Really excited to be here with you this morning.
Awesome. Well, tell us a little bit about Emerge Americas.
Emerge Americas has one mission, to be honest, and that mission is to help foster a thriving tech ecosystem in South Florida. And we do that through multiple avenues. We connect the dots between all the tech ecosystem stakeholders, which are investors, entrepreneurs, academia, global enterprises, and government officials. We do that through executive summits, roundtables. We host startup pitch competitions. We publish insight reports, so we're tracking venture activity throughout the entire state of Florida. And then it all sort of culminates at Emerge Americas, a global tech conference, which we host every spring at the Miami Beach Convention Center. And we've been doing this since 2014.
I know you've had some incredible speakers, over 16,000 people attend. You've had athletes, global titans speak. What has been the impact of the conference and how has it transformed the state in technology overall? And why the Americas? Why are you including Latin America and the Caribbean?
Yeah, it's a great question. So early on, I guess to give some context and to step back a second and why the Emerge Americas was even born, believe it or not, it actually stemmed from a place of frustration. So I worked at a company called Terramark Worldwide, which was an IT infrastructure cloud computing company that was founded by my father. I worked there for almost a decade. And our headquarters were here, even though it was a global company, our headquarters were in Miami. But hiring at the time was very difficult. Think circa early 2000s through 2010. And we would travel to conferences all over the world and people would say, why are you headquartered in Miami? And we really wanted to change that. We wanted people to start using Miami and tech in the same sentence. And we knew, to answer your question about the Americas, we knew what an important role Latin America played and still plays to Miami and South Florida. Essentially, we've been the gateway to Latin America for so many industries, but we never really had focused on tech and entrepreneurship. So we saw an opportunity, one, to try to help foster the tech ecosystem through bringing everyone together here in South Florida. And also, of course, a differentiator being that we do have this connection to Latin America. It's an emerging market, incredible talent, and we wanted to make sure we were plugging into that. And as far as impact, I mean, there's been economic reports and studies done on Emerge. We've had billions of dollars in impact throughout the state, economic impact. We've helped create thousands of jobs, helped attract several hundreds of companies, as well as talent to our state as well.
Well, congratulations. What are the dates for this year's conference?
Our dates are April 18th and 19th of 2022 at the Miami Beach Convention Center. And we have an incredible lineup of speakers. We're slowly announcing them, but some speakers that we've already publicly announced are Serena Williams, not only sharing her incredible personal journey, which is fabulous, but she also launched a fund called Serena Ventures, which is focused on bridging the funding gap and the divide that exists, unfortunately, in the venture world. So she'll be talking about that. And her husband, Alexis Ohanian, who's also very well known in the tech space, will also be speaking at Emerge amongst many other high-level tech executives. And the idea is really to bring everyone together under one roof, share ideas, inspire the attendees, our attendees, and again, continuing with our mission, which is fostering a thriving tech ecosystem here in our state.
Well, the council has been a partner since the beginning with Emerge Americas, and we're excited again to participate as an exhibitor and attendees. And I hope you'll also continue to make discounted tickets available to minority businesses and partners so we can have more of our minority firms at the conference, because so many of our firms suffered because they weren't tech enabled. And this conference does an incredible job of bringing all the tech players to the table.
Absolutely, count on it. We're very appreciative of the continued support that the council has showed. This is definitely a team effort. If it wasn't for support from organizations like yours and other organizations, Emerge wouldn't exist today. And absolutely, personally, I'm very, very passionate about helping minorities and creating a platform where everyone has a voice at the table. So any way I could help extend invites and discounts and get more people engaged, please count on it.
Let's talk about your family business. Manny Medina is your father. He's built two incredible companies. The first one, Terramark Worldwide. He sold that company for $2 billion. Audience, do you hear me? $2 billion to Verizon. And now he started a new company. I hope I'm pronouncing the name correctly. Is it Sixtera,
Yeah.
that is on NASDAQ. He's transforming, again, technology and cybersecurity. As a minority business and a minority founder who's really having impact, what would you share about your family's success in this area? And what advice would you give to our audience that's listening, that want to build great companies that have lasting impact and have value?
Yeah, so my father absolutely is a serial entrepreneur. It's sort of, he's an immigrant, and I think there's this natural entrepreneurial blood in his DNA, and he hasn't stopped. I mean, from a teenager till today, like you said, he's still building companies. He took two companies public in 2021, Sixtera, as you mentioned, and Appgate, both in the cybersecurity tech umbrella. And I feel very blessed to learn from him, work alongside him through Emerge and our family foundation as well. And advice I could give is to stay up to date with all the trends, all the relevant trends, specifically to become more tech enabled. You have to be aware of what's happening. I mean, for example, right now there's all this talk about crypto and Meta and Web3. And I know for a lot of people, including myself, when I first started reading about it a few years ago, it's difficult to wrap our minds around. But the truth is that in order to become an innovative company, you have to know about these trends and learn about them. And I can tell you, as Manny Medina's daughter, he is constantly reading, learning, and having conversations about what's next and thinking about what does the future of my company look like, as opposed to just looking day to day. That would be like the biggest piece of advice I guess I would share.
Well, thank you. We're so excited to see what's next for Emerge Americas. I invite our listeners to learn more about the conference and the fact that you're here in the state of Florida, impacting technology. As we know, the future of business is technology. And so we have one last question. I know you have a hard stop. We're talking about people you should know. Tell us a fun fact about Melissa, a fun fact.
Fun fact is that besides Emerge Americas being what I would call one of my babies, very, very passionate about it, I'm also a mom of 5 children between the ages of 5 to 14. So I never a dull moment, I would say, in my life. And I think something else, just things that I love to do. I love to play tennis. I'm an avid scuba diver too, which I think people find interesting. But yeah, again, just all about family is probably the most important thing to me, and this community, which is why I'm so passionate about what I do. It's constantly thinking about my children and my future, hopefully grandchildren. I want them to stay here, and I want them to have all the opportunities in life right here in our state.
I was hoping you would share the fact that you had 5 children, because I know when I learned that, I was blown away. I can only imagine what it was like during the pandemic. Well, thank you so much for sharing with us today and being our first speaker for people you should know, and for building an incredible legacy and being focused on technology and how it transforms entrepreneurship and communities and just our region as a whole. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Beatrice, and thank you again to the council. Would love to keep in touch, so please feel free to reach out at any time.
Thank you. All righty. We're going to hear from our next person that's going to showcase people you should know. And introducing our next guest speaker is Stuart Combs, who is our certification manager. Stuart, take it away.
Thank you, Bee, and good morning to everyone, our constituents, corporate members, board members, committee members, everybody. Welcome to 2022. My name is Stuart Combs. I'm the certification manager for the council. And today I have the honor of introducing people you should know. And our next speaker is Mr. Alfonso Costa Jr. He is the executive vice president for the Falcon Group. Alfonso is responsible for leading the company's workforce housing division and public-private partnerships, also known as P3 opportunities. The Falcon Group is a real estate development and investment firm that has developed and acquired more than 20,000 multifamily apartments and 15 million square feet of commercial space throughout the country. So without further ado, I would like to bring Alfonso up so he can tell us a little bit more about the Hungerford Property project. Alfonso, good morning. How are you today, sir?
Good morning, Stuart. Thank you for the kind introduction.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you for joining us. We appreciate your time. The network is excited to discuss the new project. So I want to give you a few minutes to give us a description of exactly what it entails.
Sounds great. Thank you, Stuart and Beatrice, Ritu, and the whole council for allowing me to be here today. And I'm really excited about this project in particular that you see here on your screen. But before that, I just want to give a brief introduction on the Falcon Group. Stuart gave a little bit of insight into what we do as one of the largest private real estate development and investment firms, not only in the state of Florida, but the entire country. Some of our large mixed use developments being such as the Miami World Center, which is the second largest master plan development in the entire country in downtown Miami. Another project in Orlando being the Margaritaville Resort Orlando with the adjacent Encore at Reunion vacation rental properties. But today I'm really focused on speaking to you about a project that's near and dear to my heart, and I've been focused on for more than a year now. And that is a property colloquially known as the Hungerford Property in the historic town of Eatonville. Eatonville is the oldest incorporated African-American municipality in the country. It was incorporated in 1887. And this property has been under the ownership of Orange County Public Schools since the 1950s. But before that, shortly after the town of Eatonville was incorporated, this site served as the foundation for what was known as the Hungerford Preparatory School, which actually Booker T. Washington helped found. And for those of you who aren't familiar with the town of Eatonville and its historical importance beyond being the first incorporated African-American municipality, it's also the home of the very famous and historical figure of Zora Neale Hurston, the Harlem Renaissance novelist and folklorist. And on this property, again, we're under contract with Orange County Public Schools, and we will be closing on the property later this year. We're envisioning a mixed-use development encompassing not only office space to create jobs, but especially retail as well, including an affordable grocer component. The town currently does not have any existing commercial buildings that are dedicated to healthy and nutritious foods that you can find frequently. Also, a component dedicated to civic use space in an open amphitheater and green space, and then also additionally multifamily residential targeted to workforce housing rents. So really excited about the development. And, we, in forming a partnership with FSMSDC over the past year plus, we really go to them first when trying to recruit the best and the brightest and the most skilled in terms of potential subcontractors for our different developments. And this is definitely a prime example of such. And we're going to continue to work with the council team to source the right skills and services. So please be on the lookout for a future setup of matchmaker meetings so we can identify appropriate subcontractors, not only for this project, but for others that we do throughout the state, whether they be mixed use like this one, or if they're simply just multifamily residential projects with potentially some ancillary commercial space.
Nice. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Couple of questions for you, Alfonso. Excuse me. First, one of the things you said that really touched home with me is that the area doesn't have access to healthy food sources. And, you know, one of the things that I've done in my life is try to champion areas that are food deserts. And it feels good to know that the planning of this takes those things into consideration to try to deliver those items to that historic area. Can you tell us a little bit about what the value of the contract is? And then also after that, we would also like to know, how can companies get involved with the project? What are the bidding opportunities or anything that we can tie directly into that?
Thank you for that, Stuart. And yeah, you know, whether it's affordable grocer and other types of retail services or offerings, we're going to be kicking off our community listening sessions towards the end of next month with Eatonville residents. And so we're really excited about what that process will look like in the coming months before we hopefully break ground later this year, start moving dirt, and then start to go vertical in early 2023. But in terms of the total development costs, you'll see there on the screen, upwards of $125 million minimally across all the different uses on parcel 1 and 4 on your screen there, dedicated to commercial retail, parcel 6 really looking at the civic use space, parcels 2 and 3 dedicated to office, and then parcel 5 with the multifamily. Again, we're obviously early in the process in terms of still closing on the site with Orange County Public Schools later this year and starting to move dirt thereafter. But we hope to kick off a pre-bidding process later this year to really understand, okay, these are our subcontractors that we think can get the job done per different use as delineated on these parcel numbers on your screen on the conceptual site plan. And again, we'll make sure to share my email address and contact information with everyone who wants to discuss further, and we can speak as time progresses and moves forward.
Absolutely. And if I know anything about our network, you're definitely going to have our people reaching out to you for those opportunities. One last question before we go, Alfonso. We wanted to know if you had any other projects that are upcoming or ongoing. I mean, of course, we know that the Hungerford property, it's years of development and it's going to be around for years. Are there any other projects that you have that are upcoming or ongoing, and where are those opportunities?
No, that's a great question. So we do have a significant pipeline of multifamily residential projects that aren't mixed use, solely multifamily rental, ranging anywhere from 192 units all the way up to 300 plus. And a lot of the markets include the likes of Jacksonville, both Duval County and St. Johns County, the Orlando area, and then we're also very active in the Tampa area as well. We're headquartered down here in South Florida, and I alluded to the Miami World Center project, which has been an ongoing development over the past 10 plus years. And we have a few other potential projects here in South Florida that we'll know in the coming months whether or not they end up closing and become viable partnership opportunities for members of the FSM SDC network. But that's generally where we're active as of now.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that information, Alfonso. I think that this was a great session. We're going to make sure that the attendees get your contact information. And happy 2022. A pleasure to meet you from on my end, and we look forward to great success with one another.
Stuart, before you let Alfonso go, we've got a couple of questions from our attendees. Let's just take a few questions.
Sure.
We have a few. I know one is specifically related to joint ventures on future projects. David Delancey, One Day Came Inc. would like to know about opportunities for future joint ventures. Are you open to joint ventures?
So we have that's a good question. Thank you, Beatrice. So we have a slew of discretionary capital across our various private equity funds called Encore Capital Management, and then separately a private REIT called Rescore. But depending on the various projects, especially if if a property owner or landowner has land and they think, oh, maybe I'm not a developer, but would like to participate through a joint venture whereby my land is contributed as imputed equity. We're always open to those types of discussions. So we're a very flexible firm despite our size with, obviously several $1 billion of assets under management, but it really just depends on the scenario. So.
And from Sonia English, are you interested in purchasing any additional historical buildings in Central Florida? That's Sonia's question.
Yeah, so, and just to clarify on this site, Orange County Public Schools had already raised the property and there are no physical structures on it before we even took a look at participating in the public request for a proposal competition that took place in 2021. But again, we're always open to different development opportunities. And we've never played in the historic tax credit space. And so I know that a lot of developers that do end up availing themselves of purchasing historic buildings are usually pretty familiar with that type of financing structure, and usually makes them the most competitive bidders or developers seeking to conduct such redevelopment or rehabilitation. But again, we are definitely open to a lot of opportunities, especially on the housing front, if it can help us increase supply in the given market, given the significant supply demand imbalance that we're seeing, not only in Central Florida, per Sonia's question, but all throughout the state.
All right, well, thank you so much. In the chat, Donna Glimmer with Orlando Health is also sharing that Orlando Health has work coming up at Bayfront, St. Petersburg, and in the Tampa area. So they're looking for contractors as well. So please contact her. Thank you so much, Alfonso. We really appreciate you sharing more information about the project. And Stuart, thank you.
Thank you, Beatrice. Thank you, Alfonso.
Thank you all so much.
So we're going to change gears for just a moment. Want to welcome our new corporate members in 2020 that joined us. We have Baycare, the Miami Dolphins, Whiting Turner that joined locally, and then nationally, DHL, the Knight Foundation, and Sudat. We are very focused on helping our corporate members build world-class supplier diversity programs. And you're going to hear from our next speaker, Willie Johnson, who moved from CHEP and is now with ViStar Credit Union, who is the chair of the Supplier Diversity Roundtable, along with Anthea Pennant, who is with Broward College, who is the co-chair. And he's going to be sharing a little bit about what that committee is doing this year, its meetings, and what its areas of focus is. Let's hear from Willie Johnson, who is new to ViStar Credit Union. Willie?
Hi, Beatrice. Thank you so much for the introduction. And good morning, everyone. So first and foremost, I want to say thank you, Madam President, for inviting me to speak. I'd also like to thank my co-chair, Anthea Pennant, as well as the FSMSDC staff, board of directors, my colleagues in the industry, and the prestigious MBEs that are certified by the organization. I just want to share with you that there are 4 pillars for our Supplier Diversity Roundtable, and you see them before you here. Best practice sharing, forward thinking on issues impacting supplier diversity, professional development, and raising the visibility and perception of supplier diversity. In 2021, although we were kind of at the mercy of COVID and technology, we were still able to have some very productive and engaging meetings. And if you are a corporate member and have not been able to attend any of our supplier diversity roundtable discussions or meetings, you're missing out. You're absolutely missing out. Some of the things that we kind of focused on in 2021 were fundamentals of supplier diversity, mentorship. We also introduced something called the My Buddy, in which it allowed for our supplier diversity professionals to partner with our procurement professionals. And what we want to do in 2022 is kind of take a deeper dive into those relationships, but also evolving your supplier diversity programs, in which, of course, we provided tools and topics of discussion to help you develop and move your supplier diversity programs forward. In 2022, we want to focus on the fundamentals of both supplier diversity and procurement, so that you understand the strategies that your procurement colleagues are building, but even more importantly, so that you're able to apply some of that to your actual supplier diversity programs. And some very key dates are February 23rd, which will be our first supplier diversity roundtable meeting, May 18th, August 31st, and November 30th. Also, two things that we did, which were great, very phenomenal, and went over well last year, were joint sessions with the Mbe Input Committee. Those sessions empowered us or enabled us to be able to provide insight from the Mbe organization and their challenges, but then also have the MBEs listen to some of the challenges that corporations or supplier diversity advocates are currently faced with. And with that, I turn it back over to you, Madam President.
I think I was muted. Okay. Again, thank you, Willie. Appreciate the information you've shared with our corporate members as we continue to improve their supplier diversity programs. Well, we're going to turn the page to share a little bit about our goals for the new year. We're excited for the activities, the events, and our areas of focus. As you know, we are in the middle of, or may not know, we're focused on our meeting, our objectives and our strategic plan. And I want to announce first our theme for the year. And I know our minority businesses are going to be incredibly happy about our theme. Our theme for the year is Formula for Success. And we want to focus on what we consider to be formulas for success, which are contracts, helping our MBEs and our corporate members build capacity, and connections. And we're going to be moving to in-person events. Some of them will be hybrid. Some activities will still be online to allow the entire state to participate, or really anywhere in the world that someone wants to participate. But our theme for the year is Formula for Success, Contract, Capacity, and Connections. And everything that we'll do will dovetail to our theme. I also want to share what some of our goals are for the year with our audience. Our first goal is to improve matching of MBEs to procurement opportunities. The national organization is also embarking on a major focus on technology. That will help us, but we want to learn about your opportunities, corporate members, and we want MBEs to share opportunities with other MBEs. We're recognizing MBEs that are doing more business with each other as part of that as well. So matching our MBEs to opportunities are critical, and developing an assessment for MBEs to see where they are, as well as a growth plan. We developed an assessment for our corporate members last year, and our goal is to do the same for MBEs. And assessing where and providing additional guidance. There are a lot of folks that are new to supply diversity at the corporate level. How do we improve their programs, and how do we train them and match them with seasoned professionals? Our next set of goals is really focused on client satisfaction. Continuous improvement, understanding the needs of our clients is important to the work that we do, and we want to hear from you. So please take the time out if we ask you to answer a survey or even to participate in a focus group. We're very focused on improving our overall technology, and Dr. Sandra is going to be playing a big role in that. And so we're very excited about how we can be more tech-enabled to meet the needs of our constituents more efficiently and effectively. Our programs and services, we want to be certain that we're meeting our funders' KPIs, the key performance indicators. How are we doing? How are we serving our clients? How are we helping them grow? And so we're tracking that on a regular basis. We've hired a firm to help us improve our branding and communications. So you're going to be seeing a lot of great information in places where you've not seen our videos, our stories, our success stories throughout the state of Florida and throughout the US. So lots more interviews, a lot more success stories will be shared. And so we want to improve our branding. We no longer want to be the best kept secret. So we're really focused on improving our branding and the value of minority businesses. Most people think of minority businesses as small. We want to tell the story of the impact our minority firms are having. So for example, they employ more than 70,000 people. How many know that? One of our largest Black firms in the country is certified with us, Covet, Florida. And so despite the pandemic, there's a great story to tell about the success that our firms are having. Additionally, in order to meet our goals, we want to have a high-performing team. And we call our staff team because we view them as really an integral part of what we do. We're only as strong as our weakest link, and we want to be sure that our staff is performing at a high level. So we're really focused on training, professional and personal development, and making sure that the right people are interacting and delivering services to our constituents. I want to announce the book of the year. And as you know, for the last 5 years, we've had the book of the year. And this year, because we're still focused on how do we grow our companies, how do we give them right tools in such a challenging and changing, ever evolving time, our book of the year is Your Next 5 Moves, Master the Art of Business Strategy. Even if you're not an entrepreneur, if you're a corporate member, you're thinking about going into business, this book has some incredible nuggets. It'll give you clarity on what you're doing, how you're doing it, and who you are. It'll provide you with information about strategy in the war room, in the boardroom, as you're in those meetings, negotiating contracts, some growth tactics for the good times as well as the challenging times, and what are the right skills to build the right team to really make certain that you've got the right support as you're making these moves, and insights that you can really utilize to apply and leverage as you're growing your company. So our book of the year by Patrick Bet-Davis, who happens to actually be a Florida resident, hoping to get him to come on and share some insights. But this book has been heralded as really thought-provoking and providing some great information for entrepreneurs, aspiring entrepreneurs, or just business professionals as a whole. So you'll be hearing more about our book of the year, and we encourage you to pick up the book of the year and read it to gain those insights. So to end our session today, I just want to remind you that each one of you has an important role in our success this year. Your success is important to us. We want to be a valued member of growing your minority business or helping you with your supplier diversity objectives. So we ask that if you're a corporate member, as well as an MBE, to share your procurement opportunities. Keep your corporate membership current as well as your certification. Attend our supplier diversity roundtable if you're a corporate member, and if you're an MBE, attend all of our events. Invest in the council's programs and services. You pay one time and you are able to be on our signage, our ads, our social media, on our website, and so forth. It's a great way to invest in our mission of helping build equity, economic inclusion, and diversity in communities of color. Again, participate in our surveys. Tell us about your challenges, your successes. We want to share it with the world. If you're not a member of the Mbe Input Committee, please reach out to Able to join the Mbe Input Committee. Follow us, share, Join us on LinkedIn, Facebook, as well as YouTube. We've got a lot of great information on YouTube. So that is your role for to make sure that we are successful and that you're successful, because you play a large part in our success and will play a large part in our success in 2022. I want to highlight some key dates for our major events. Our 37th Annual Business Expo is May 17th and 18th. Our Business Impact Awards that will be held in Central Florida is September 16th. As I shared previously, the national organization is celebrating its 50th anniversary, and the national conference this year is going to be held in New Orleans, and that's October 24th and 26th. And our Business Matchmaker will be November 4th. But throughout the year, we host many activities, events. Right now, we have our Women's Boot Camp happening. The SBA program has multiple workshops they host multiple workshops throughout the month. We want you to participate as we're online, as we're hybrid, and as we have activities that are face-to-face. I know that many of you are saying, when are we going to get face-to-face? We did an activity in Orlando in November that did bring our members face-to-face, but we're following the science. Your health and safety is really important to us. And we are going to roll out activities that will continue to follow the CDC guidelines and protect our attendees and our corporate members and MBEs. We want to open up for questions for the next few minutes. If there are questions that our attendees have, we want to be sure that we answer the questions that you might have. And I want to also thank you all for attending and thank the staff for their continued support and commitment to our mission and for the work that they do every single day. So we're going to open up for questions if anyone has any questions. I see a lot of messages, and yes, we will make the chat available, and we also will make the slides available to attendees. I did see that as a question. Any questions about anything that has been shared today? Team, do you see any questions besides to save information in the chat?
Hello, Beatrice.
Oh, I see. The Expo is going to be at the Dodge City Center in Fort Lauderdale. Thank you, Inga, for asking that question.
Hello, Beatrice.
Yes.
This is Sonia English. Will the replay for this presentation be available? The verbal replay?
We will put it on our YouTube channel.
Okay, awesome. And then how do we get access to the various people, like their emails and or the phone number if we wanted to reach out? Like say, for instance, if I wanted to reach out to Stuart to get the information to become certified, how do I do that?
So on our website is a list of all of our team members. And Stuart, please put your email in the chat. And we're going to make the chat available to everyone. And there's more information about certification. There's a video about the process, the documents that you need as well. Sort of, you could drop your information in the chat.
Awesome, thank you. With great presentation, thank you. I'm looking forward to being a part.
Thank you, Virginia.
Beatrice, I have a question.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Hey, I work for a company out of California, and we are certified with the California Agency for Minority Supplier Development. Do I need to join the Florida chapter in order to participate in the networking opportunities?
No, you do not. You can attend any of our activities. Also, on our website, you can learn more information about becoming a subscriber. So you get our information firsthand. If you're certified with any of the councils, there are 3 councils in California.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you.
And then I see a question said where the national conference is right now slated to be in person in New Orleans, as far as we know. Additionally, someone asked again, where is our conference being held? It is at the Dodge City Center in Pembroke Pines. And let's see. The book of the year will be on our website for those of you who need that information. It's Your Next 5 Moves, Master the Art of Business Strategy. Just going out, hoping I'm not missing questions. April, thank you so much.
I did have a quick question.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Hi, my name is Lisbeth Anna. I own a staffing and consulting company called Qualifies. I have never been to a matchmaking session. Our clients are usually commercial clients, and we started getting into government contracting a few years ago. I really don't understand how the matchmaking sessions work and how valuable they are. There are so many different types. Can you just give me a little bit more information kind of about the process and what are the matchmaking, kind of the matches based on? Thank you.
Okay, so during the expo, we have one-on-one matchmaking, and our individual corporate members also will have activities throughout the year that'll match firms to opportunities. I would recommend that you have a well thought out capability statement of 1 page, no more than 2, back and front, that could easily be emailed so that easily it shares who you are, what you do, who your current customers are, and how you help companies to grow. If you're based in the state of Florida and you want help with designing a capability statement, please log on to our website and become a client of the COVID Relief and Response Program, and they'll share additional information as well. Normally, as part of our matchmaking, we have some tips on our website about how to prepare for a matchmaker, because you only have a few minutes to make an impression. So those are the recommendations I would make. You're welcome, Elizabeth. And if you're certified with us, you have every Tuesday, we send out our e-newsletter, Things You Should Know. That goes directly into your inbox. I see a question about getting information updates that has bids, articles, events, and you can find that information if you're certified with us. If you're not certified with us, on our website, you can go to calendar of events. It has not only our events, but other activities throughout the state. At certification team, we have several people that are asking for information about the certification process, and you can drop that in the chat. And someone could also jot in the chat the information for the SBA 7J program, as well as the link to make an appointment for the COVID relief program as well. So that's being added to the chat. Thank you so much, Ellsworth, for sharing that the information was informative. We appreciate you joining us and for your kind comments and note. Well, more than 240 people joined us today. We're so excited that you are with us. So that and please continue to stay abreast of our activities. Like us, share our information, stay abreast of our activities. There's a wealth of information on our website. We're excited about 2022. We hope that you are as well. And we look forward to being your partner to help you improve your supplier diversity program or grow your company. And thank you, team, that have helped to make this event a success. And we look forward to working with each and every one of you throughout the new year. Thank you.
Thanks to you, Beatrice.
Yeah, there are about 11 new messages. So I want to be sure I'm not missing anything. Additionally, 14 messages. Any more questions? All right, thank you so much, everyone. And you can still say in the chat, is there information that anyone needs to grab? You can still hang on there. So we're going to hang in there for another few minutes.
Thank you, Beatrice, for an awesome, awesome job. And all of the staff that helped to pull this event together.
Oh, thank you, Anthony. Appreciate you.
Palmer. Yeah, the vendor was excellent.
All right. Have a great day, everyone.
You too.
Hold on, Beatrice, one more.